Hey everyone, this is Social Dissonance, also known as Shepard, and this will be a hammer tutorial for Monster Hunter Portable 3rd. Now, I'd say out of all the weapons, this is probably one of the few weapons that has had almost nothing changed about it from try. The only difference is now every single attack that the hammer has does KO damage. So before, the small attacks from the spin wouldn't do KO damage, now they do. Okay, so first things first, you have a normal 3-hit combo, just going straight out. First thing, when you go straight out of a weapon being sheathed, is you'll kind of do this weird unsheath attack there where you swing up. That's not really the main combo, however, it does do some damage. The main combo is just press triangle 3 times. The first attack there is actually fairly powerful, just this first check here. The second one is actually maybe the worst hit of the combo, but the last hit, the golf swing, has apparently been upgraded from try. Its attack damage from Unite was reduced in try, but now I believe it's been brought up a bit more. Otherwise, you can press circle, you can do like a little side check, and you can combo out of that check. You kind of go into the golf swing a little bit faster. And while that attack isn't all that great, it does do fairly decent KO damage, so it's something worth mixing in if you know you can't make the full normal pound. However, of course, this first normal pound here does a fairly decent amount of damage, so work that in. Otherwise, the big thing about the hammer is its ability to charge. So there's a level 1 charge, which kind of just does... that's a level 2 charge. Level 1 charge that just kind of does this little 2-hit check move. There's a level 2 charge, which does a uppercut, which is actually one of the few attacks that can actually hit fairly high. So if you're trying to knock out some monsters with high heads like Gigginox, you're going to need to use that attack. And finally, there's a level 3 charge that actually does 2 different attacks depending on whether you're moving or standing still. If you're moving, you'll kind of go into the super swing. Make sure to time the triangle attack after 3 rotations in order to get a super golf swing. I believe that is the most powerful attack the hammer has. It certainly was for most of the game. Otherwise, if you're standing still, you'll go into a super pound, just stand still, and you get 1 hit going up, which does really very little damage, followed by the actual super pound. Now this has really great range, and it just has a lot of great tactical use because it's kind of like a level 3 greatsword charge, however you can land it very quickly. Otherwise, the main thing to know about the hammer is almost at any point in the combo, you can draw into a charge and kind of combo around. So what you'll see me doing sometimes is doing a triple pound, followed by kind of like that 2-hit check, followed by another triple pound, followed by another 2-hit check. Or if the monster's like getting up, I'll go into a charge and I'll just run away and try to figure out how to land a super pound on him. Otherwise, I don't think select does anything. The hammer is pretty much the most basic moveset. Just learning how to work in charges into your normal combos will make it the most effective. Otherwise, the only other thing that I'd want to mention is be careful with the super pound. It has a great potential to knock your teammates around, and it will make them very sad. But in general, if you're playing online, it's kind of like give and take. If you're playing with a hammer user, give them the head so they can get the knockout on the monster. Otherwise, I don't know. Just be considerate of the people around you. For some reason, you get like 2 bounce bombs in this mission. Like they aren't... Oh, no, you don't. Sorry, cats, but I'm not letting you take anything. I'm not particularly sure what that was. I think that was a hot drink. Might have been a bounce bomb. Now, Gigginox is going to be fun to show off because he's been maybe the most significantly changed from try, in that he's got a completely new mode. His attacks seem to all involve poison a lot more often, and just in general, he's a lot cooler. A lot cooler to fight. Of course, he's going to get a scream off, so we're just going to try and get quick 2 hits off. It's pretty much the best we could hope for. And of course, my cats are going to do a great job of trying to keep me from being stunned from the scream. And you see, he's just got all these poison attacks he's going to do all the time. And something that has been present for both Unite and a try, of course, is the spark whenever you hit the head. I believe that was in Unite. You got something. It's clearly a KO now, though. You see he's already getting angry. Well, he's not in armor mode yet, though. I already gave away the surprise. He goes into armor mode now, and it's like really cool. Oops. Well, I guess that's one attack he can hit you with. See there, I just worked in that little check just to try and get a little extra hit in before he moved around too much. Now we're going to need to use the Super Pound. The Super Pound is good in that it has ESP to it, so it will never bounce, that is. That's what I want to say. Otherwise, when he's in this mode here, his head and his tail are like extra armored, so we need to aim for his wings. Or his body. Something to be careful of. Okay. His poison eggs now come out really fast. And they explode fairly fast, too. Oh man, he's doing a pretty good job. He's really angry. He is not giving up. Look, that little... You know, these Giggies have been changed, too. They can actually shoot poison at you. I think they used to be able to do it in Try, although I never saw it. No. Look at all that poison he shoots out. He is just, like, ruthless with it. Now, there are different styles with this weapon, of course. There are some people whose main method of attack is to do the unsheath attack, followed by the triple pound. That's not necessarily a bad choice. In fact, it probably is better than landing super pounds. However, I just found that the super pounds is just much more defensive. It's just my preference. Okay, he's exhausted, which means we can get off triple pounds to his head. And of course, whenever I do that attack, I go for... What do I want to say it? Right into a charge. Whenever I do a triple pound, I go into a charge. Only it actually slows your... it cancels your delay just a little bit. It's certainly worthwhile. I just took my frustration out on that baggie. Because I'm not going to be able to cure this poison. And Gigginox doesn't look like it, but he takes a ton of damage from impact. Okay, and I think I've broken everything on him. So now I'm just going to be able to show off what it looks like to get off that full, like, mega combo. He might be weak enough to capture at this point. Let's see. Is he limping? Yeah, he's already limping. However, this guy, as opposed to most other guys, is really someone you almost never want to... I don't know if those hit him or not. You never really want to capture him. I mean, you might want to capture him, like, once, just so, to say that you did capture him in your little guild card. But in order to get unnerving talons, you actually have to kill him. Really not an issue for most people. I think most people prefer to kill monsters rather than capture them. See there, his tail is pretty heavily armored. For some reason, he's like totally ignoring me. Why are you doing that? I'm going to attack you, Gigginox. What are you doing? Does he have to eat? Or she, that is? I'm assuming it's a she. How weird. How so very strange. And you see this pumpkin armor takes very little damage. It's got pretty decent defense, and I think I've upgraded it a lot too. So, fairly standard fight, fairly easy fight. Really fast charge. The skill on Pumpkin just really makes a lot more strategies that wouldn't be as helpful, like, viable. Like, generally for the Greatsword, Longsword, and Hammer, those more powerful attacks I've been using in these tutorials wouldn't really be as readily available. So, try to get it as early as you can. The way you get it is upgrade your fields all the way, upgrade them to level 3, and constantly be fertilizing them all the way. You can do that from the very beginning with worms. Plant red seeds until you get blight seeds. They're blue and they sell for like 110, I think, maybe 100. Until you get mite seeds, which sell for 120. And that's actually your best bet. And then just occasionally you'll get like a little orange seed at the very end of your crop row. And those are pumpkins. You can make the pumpkin armor set. You can also make a pumpkin hammer. There are probably some other pumpkin weapons that I haven't noticed yet, but that's definitely a very easy one to make. Otherwise, up next is the hunting horn against the Urkusis. It's probably got a different name than that in Japanese. It's probably a lot crazier than that. But it'll be fun. I'll be using a fire hunting horn against him, and yeah, watch it then.